In days gone by, people moved to the United States from all around the world in pursuit of the American dream. They were sold the promise of equal opportunities and success through hard work and determination. But today, with ever-increasing living costs, unaffordable housing, expensive healthcare, and low wages, the American dream has become a nightmare for some, and many residents have become homeless. In this video, we'll take a look at the top 10 cities with the highest homeless problem in America in 2024. But before we start, if you like our content, please like our channel and don't forget to subscribe so we can keep bringing you content. Number 10. Phoenix. The city of Phoenix in Arizona is known for its beautiful desert landscapes, outdoor hiking trails, and year-round sunshine. But in January 2024, there were over 9,000 homeless men, women, and children in the city. Before mid-2023, the downtown area had a tent city known as The Zone, where around 1,000 homeless people lived. However, local business owners sued, and a court ordered the zone to be demolished. Now many live in parks and out of their cars, while some of the more fortunate have found temporary beds in local housing shelters. So how did this happen? Well, according to Phoenix Rescue Mission, people tend to become homeless following a personal crisis caused by things like unemployment, domestic violence, divorce, poverty, or addiction. But that's not all. With rising costs of living and poor wages being paid by many businesses in the area, homelessness in Phoenix is also occurring because people simply can't afford to meet their basic needs. Number 9. Denver. The city of Denver in Colorado is known for its fabulous restaurants and entertainment venues. Plus, it's a hub for outdoor activities with the Rocky Mountains on its doorstep. But as wonderful as living in Denver sounds, it also has a darker side. Because in 2023, over 10,000 people had no place to call home. So, what has led to this situation? Well, Denver's housing has become more expensive, making it harder for low-income workers and families to keep up with rising rents and mortgage payments. In the past few years, more people have been visiting the hospital too, and increasing healthcare costs have created another tier of poverty. There's also been an increase in domestic violence and substance abuse, which has not helped the situation. In fact, the homelessness crisis is so grim in Denver that authorities have pledged to spend millions to improve the situation this year. Number 8. Philadelphia. If you've heard of the Liberty Bell, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and Philly cheesesteaks, then you've probably heard of Philadelphia in the state of Pennsylvania. Sounds like a great place to live, right? For some, yes, but for others, not so much. Homelessness in the city has been growing rapidly in recent years. In 2022, it was up 14% on the previous year. In fact, every night, almost 4,500 people experience homelessness in the city, and at least 9% of them are young adults. A person would have to work 86 hours a week at minimum wage to afford a small one-bedroom apartment in Philly. There's also the fact that healthcare has become unaffordable for many people. And with a rise in chronic substance use, mental illnesses, and racial inequality, it seems that Philadelphia has quite a way to go to solve these problems. Number 7. San Francisco. The Californian city of San Francisco is best known for its iconic Golden Gate Bridge, expansive urban parks, and its liberal attitudes. But the city also has a huge homelessness issue. According to statistics, most people are becoming homeless due to a lack of affordable housing, mental illness, health issues, job loss, and substance abuse. Neighborhoods like Tenderloin are turning into shantytowns with hundreds of tents along the sidewalk on any given day. It's not like the city isn't doing anything to try and alleviate the problem either. Local authorities have spent billions of dollars to try and reduce the numbers of homeless people. But despite this, the figures have only increased. A UN Special Rapporteur visited the city in 2022, and the number of homeless people had increased to more than 20,000. One of the problems San Francisco faces is an influx of people from other areas in California who also have no place to live, and this is causing the figures to keep increasing. Number 6. Seattle. The city of Seattle, tucked away in the Pacific Northwest region, is well known for its lively cafe culture as the home of thriving tech companies like Amazon and Microsoft, and for landmarks such as the futuristic Space Needle. But with all of these positives, why are so many people experiencing homelessness? In 2020, over 11,700 people were homeless or living in shelters, with the primary cause losing their jobs or not earning enough to keep up with rising rents and house prices. The high-paying roles in the big tech companies has led to local authorities investing more into developing luxury housing and less into affordable housing. The problem is, around 40% of Seattle's working population are on low income. In the past decade, rents have increased by 33%, and salaries simply haven't kept up. But high housing costs aren't the only reason for Seattle's homeless issues. Others include evictions, expensive medical costs, and drug use. There's a racial disparity too, with Black, American Indian, and Alaskan Native households finding themselves most affected by the crisis. Number 5. Oakland. We're back in California again, this time in Oakland. The city of Oakland sits across the bridge from San Francisco. It's home to a picturesque lake, an Ivy League university, and the city even holds the accolade of creating the very first Mai Tai cocktail. However, as good as all this sounds, there's also a huge issue with homelessness in Oakland. In fact, it has doubled in the past 10 years. Today, around 4,000 people live in temporary shelters, RVs, cars, or on the streets, with most of these residents being of African American ethnicity. According to a local government website, it appears that money issues are causing 58% of homelessness, followed by breakdowns in personal relationships and mental and physical health problems. Oakland residents are aware that the homelessness crisis needs urgent attention, and they believe authorities simply aren't doing enough to help. However, according to the Oakland government website, they have created community cabins for emergency cases to help tackle the complex issue. Hopefully, this first step can help transition more people into more permanent, affordable housing. Number 4. New York. New York is known around the world for iconic skyscrapers like the Empire State Building, the Statue of Liberty, and expansive city parks. You would think life here would be pretty sweet. Well, not for some. There are over 8 million people living in New York City, and around 1 in 83 of them are experiencing homelessness. In fact, in November 2023, over 92,000 people were sleeping in homeless shelters, in subways, parks, and along sidewalks. And according to Coalition for the Homeless, around 33,000 of them were children. Research shows that the main causes include a lack of affordable housing, eviction, hazardous living conditions, job loss, and domestic violence. There's also great racial disparity, with Black, Hispanic, and Latino New Yorkers appearing to be affected the most. New York City Council accepts that the situation requires urgent action, but to date, they have yet to find an effective solution to an ever-growing problem. Number 3. Las Vegas. Known for its casino hotels, glitzy entertainment venues, and neon light strip, Las Vegas is visited by thousands of tourists every year. However, over the past few years, there's also been a growing number of homeless people in the city. In 2023, statistics show a 14% increase from the previous year, mainly due to the lack of affordable housing, domestic violence, and poverty arising from an increased cost of living and poor wages. Over half of the city's 6,500 homeless people live in makeshift tents on the streets and in underground tunnels susceptible to flooding, thus posing a danger to life. As the homeless population in Sin City continues to grow, the luxury housing market in the state is booming, with many celebrities swapping their highly taxed California mansions for homes in Nevada. This has had a knock-on effect. As house prices climb in Las Vegas, it's becoming even harder for low earners to find affordable properties in which to live. Number 2. Eugene. The city of Eugene in the Pacific Northwest state of Oregon is a leader in outdoor recreation and arts. However, Eugene also has some of the highest homelessness rates per capita in the United States. Between 2020 and 2022, the number of people without a permanent home in the city increased by nearly 23% to around 18,000 people, and it doesn't seem to be decreasing. According to local authorities, much of the problem is rooted in housing costs. There's a lack of affordable housing and limited shelter capacity. Around 62% of Eugene's homeless population, including a growing number of children, are living in tent communities on the streets or out of their cars. Some initiatives are trying to help solve the situation with free healthcare and affordable tiny houses. However, a recent article by opb.org. Number 1. Los Angeles. The California city of Los Angeles is known for Hollywood movie studios, stunning golden beaches, and multi-million-dollar neighborhoods like Beverly Hills. But despite all of this, the City of Angels is also home to a high percentage of the United States homeless population. Unknown to many, Los Angeles has suffered with homelessness since way back in the 1930s, when people began living in a 54-block area known as Skid Row. Today, rising house prices, job losses, expensive health care, and increased living costs have only continued a problem that never really went away. In 2023, more than 75,000 people in Los Angeles were homeless, a growth of 9% year-on-year. And that's not all. The crisis seems to be affecting Black residents and the over-50s demographic more than anyone else, suggesting a racial and age disparity in the city. One issue preventing the situation from being solved easily is the lack of shelter and affordable housing, and it's complex, as Los Angeles County has 88 cities, each with their own governing bodies. If the situation continues as it is, by 2028, a McKinsey report anticipates that more than 10,000 children could be without a home in the city. Hopefully, it won't come to that, and permanent solutions can be found to the Los Angeles homelessness issue long before then. That's all for now. Thanks for watching our channel. If you like our content and want to see more, please remember to like and hit the subscribe button. Goodbye.